Welcome everyone to another Pixelated review. I'm your host, Pixelated Jordan. So, what we have here today is a YA slash NA fantasy series, or I guess dark fantasy series. Now you may be wondering, what is NA for those who don't know? That's technically called new adult. So it's like this kind of bridge gap between, young adult and adult. So it's new adult, so it's like in the middle. And that's kind of what this thing, I guess, classifies as. Anyway, this book is about a series of a guy who is a hybrid of sorts. And he becomes powerful. And that's the series right there. I mean, it's definitely a shortened version of it, but that's technically what it is. There's a lot of betrayal, a lot of fighting, and a lot of back and forth and things that makes me very confused. I don't know how we got to A to B sometimes, but beyond that, it's an action series. So, overall, I think you guys know the drill. So, spoilers ahead. And more spoilers ahead. So without further ado, let's start this review. Book 1. The Hybrid. Hybrid is very simple. We have a man, or a boy, 13-year-old boy, named Sebastian something, of course. And he has an abusive father who kind of just told him he abused him and stuff like that. And does it get better for him in school? Well, this wouldn't be a story if it didn't. So, basically, he does get kind of abused in his school as much as his dad. So I was like, well, where does he go from here? And the big thing about this is that there's these powers in this universe. Basically, if you really want to think about it, a lot of these, it's kind of like being a superhero, avatar superhero, if you would. And only kids can kind of pick which one they're at, or technically they only get able to do one of four. So that's kind of the thing with this story. The main character, we'll name him Seb just to make it easier, because people kind of just refer to him as Seb. He can do it all. He lies to call himself a hybrid. Oh no, I can just do two, but he can do all of them. Now, that's kind of like the funny thing about it is that the teachers are scared of him, like terrifyingly so. They are so scared of him that they plot to kill him. I'm kid you not. These teachers are just going like, okay, this guy's gonna be strong. If we don't kill him before he's 18, he's gonna kill every one of us. And that's the story. It was honestly kind of like surprising. It made me laugh because of how it was, but I'm like, I mean, it was fun. It was kind of fun. But overall, the story itself too, as Sebastian goes through his thing, he gets through some pretty bad scenes, like what that was with, I can't remember his teacher's name, but the teacher was a lot like Professor Snape, but if Professor Snape was allowed to hit Harry Potter. So yeah, that was the thing. Also, they have a race. And it was kind of like Quidditch about, flying, stuff like that, but not Quidditch because that's a race, so it's totally different. Point is, this felt like it was trying to be like a Harry Potter thing that had a twist on it about the teachers trying to kill Harry Potter, and Harry Potter is one of the strongest of all time. So yeah, that's kind of what the first book was, and I did like the twist of an ending there was, because the biggest thing about this is that if he turned to the dark, the world is kind of just screwed. So and the way it ends too is that if you get your first kill, that might be a problem. And there was this twist at the end that he might have made his first kill. It really intrigued me from the first half of that. Like, all this book right here, there's a lot of abusive stuff. There was a lot of just like, why would you do that to this poor kid? And just the silly teachers going, he's gonna be super strong, so we gotta kill him, which made it very entertaining. But poor kid, man, Seb just trying to live his life, and he just happens to be the strongest one. And Seb is a little bit too nice to really kind of stand up for himself, because he doesn't want to do that. And one of the things too I kind of found interesting in the world is that they have these amplifiers and de-amplifiers. so it can make kids stronger and then other kids weaker to make the balancing better. So I like that. That is a cool system that they have that I really did enjoy in this book. But yeah, overall, I really did like this story. I think the first book is pretty great. I think it has like a lot of, just things I wasn't expecting to happen, and it does argue the thing like, well, why not? Screw these guys. Go use your whole powers, Seb. You deserve it. So I really did enjoy this book. So that being said, I give The Hybrid a rating of, check it out, Book 2. The Tower. Okay, well, we gotta hold up a second here. It was really fast. This book, it was breakneck speed, and I mean breakneck speed. Oh my god, there's a lot of things in this book that just went back and forth. And the agents, there's a team called the Agency who was basically after Seb at this point. They also teamed up with the teachers in the first book, but anyway, they're talking about the bigger threat here who's gonna be fighting the Agency. So, that being said, what does Seb do? Well, he's all like, well, I'm a good guy. I gotta help these guys out. The Agencies are pretty good guys. They just didn't want me to turn evil. Fair enough, right? Well, these battles, I'm not gonna lie though, the battles were pretty cool. They got creative and stuff like that, but a lot of the issues were that I was confused at the pacing because of how fast everything was. We just moved left and right, quickly, boom, 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 boom. And I was like, okay, what happened? Wait, what did I just miss? Was that important? I don't remember. So there's a lot of points in this book that made me confused because I was confused of what was happening because it was so darn fast. But I did enjoy where we left off at and how we got to the end. Oh man, the tower stuff, yeah, that was honestly really cool. I really enjoyed that. And at the end, oh my god, poor Seb, he got betrayed by the Agency, basically the Agency, but well, I mean, it's easier, but whatever. Tomato. Point is, holy crap, poor Seb, man, he is going through the numbers. He's going through the ringer. Alright? We are trying for this kid not to turn dark, and people are still tripping him as he's trying to walk. Why would they do this to the strongest person? I don't know. It makes no sense. But at the end of the book, Seb is sealed away. It was a shocker, right? And well, how do we get from there? Well, guess we'll wait till book 3, wouldn't we? So, yeah. So, for The Tower, I give it a rating of, book 3, The Dark. I have so many questions. So, we went from the teachers being fearful of him and the Agency coming in to kill a 13-year-old kid. Okay, alright, cool. Then we get to the second book, which is about a bigger threat that's coming, and they ask Seb's help, and then they plan his murder, and then the guy who, it was one of the teachers, mind you, planned his murder in the first book, then sealed him away in the tower. Okay? I want you to remember that. He is saved, Seb specifically, main character, is saved, and then he goes back to school. The place that tried to kill him. Also, there's stuff about his father. So, yeah. Anyway, that's confusing already as it is. And there's a point here where he's talking to the main bad guy here, and you remember how I referred to in the first book about these amplifiers and de-amplifiers? He says, oh yeah, you should agree to this or I might kill everybody here around us. Mind you, this is at the time, like I said, was on the street in the middle of the book. Why did he agree? Why did Sam agree to that? He could have won easily, but no, because he said that. I don't know. I had so many questions with this book. This book made me just go, why? Why would you do that? Why are you going back to school where the people try to kill you? Why would you do this? Why would you do any? There is such... Oh my god, there were so many things in this book that made me just question, what is going on? Why are we here? How did we get here? I don't understand what's going on. Why is everyone just literally picking on Seb? It just... Seb is definitely acting like, much more kind of not mean, but more just depression, I guess. But then again, everyone's after him, so I don't even blame Sebastian for it because, like, hey, I mean, if someone planned a murder on me and put me away in a tower, yeah, you know what, I'd be a little salty myself. But why would I go to school? Why would I be fighting at a disadvantage? I don't understand. I really don't. And it felt like at this point he really was about to snap and go dark. I honestly thought Seb would. But would you believe me if I told you he didn't? I know. What a shocker, right? But there's 2 more books, okay? There's 2 more books. And as frustrating as this one really was, I was just kind of like, whatever. So, with that being said, I give The Dark a rating of forgettable. Book 4, The Battle. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm still trying to figure it out. There is so much I just do not understand what is going on in this book anymore that I've completely lost it. So the main bad guy, Arturo, he kind of manipulates Seb to believing that Arturo is the Dark. His dad is not his dad, but then his dad is kind of his dad, but not really. Arturo is not his dad sometimes, or is his dad sometimes. So that's the thing. I'm just like, excuse me, what do you mean? And then, we got things about, Bates, who's the teacher who tried to kill Seb and also stole him away in the tower. Anyway, he took over the agency now, so who knows what he's gonna do. And the dark side of, like I say, in Harry Potter, the dark arts, similar for this franchise, it's gonna be the Necros, and they're planning something with him, and they're just, I don't understand. There is so much going on that Arturo trying to say, oh, we're gonna live a better life, even though I'm the Dark and we gotta follow my lead, blah blah blah. There's also just the agency. No, he's the bad guy. You're still the Dark, but you gotta follow what we're saying because we're the good guys. And I'm just like, dude, I don't know what's the right answer here anymore. I am so lost. Seb, just forget everyone and just go nuts because none of these factions are good. Both of them suck, man. Like, oh my god. Even with his friends who do try to hit their best to, be along with him, it's just, I'm sorry. That is like, it really just kept on making me just, what is going on? Why are they doing this? I don't know what to say. I'm just so confused of everyone's motivation and what they want for the future. I'm so lost. So, yeah. Needless to say, I'm just kind of burnt out at this point with the story because I don't understand what's the motivation anymore, and I don't understand what's that supposed to do other than not go dark at this point. And that's a big thing. I want it to happen. So, if it doesn't, oh well, I guess I'll be okay with it. Anyway, I give The Battle a rating of forgettable. Book 5, The Light. Betrayed and manipulated. That is the story we have coming through today. There was so much betrayal, broken promises, and that as such. And though a lot of it is frustrating and how it just kind of betrays some of these actions and how things just happen, arguably, it makes a lot of sense for what happened in this book. Everything built up, even though as frustrated as I got and confused that I got, it did lead into something. And that's something that's kind of odd by it. And that is something that I usually hold myself to, is that I always make sure I'll do what I can to finish the story. Finish the books that I read so I can always see the author's vision at the end of the story. Now this was the vision. After being betrayed and lied to and manipulated for so long, Seb finally does it. He becomes the Dark, and it was so cool. I'm not gonna lie, it really was really cool. man, there was a lot of action scene in here, and when he snapped, and it just, but it made sense, and it was satisfying after everything he has gone through, and what he ended up doing. But even then, at the end, even though he's technically had his snap, he was coming back to, well, himself, and it was a beautiful thing. And then at the end, Seth just kind of, well, maybe I'll let you check that out if you ever get that far. It's pretty cool, actually, what I liked in the end. Though, like I said, the journey here, how we got here, was frustrating, but I did really enjoy the ending, and it really was a lot of just, it made sense. And I guess that's a big point at this book, that everything we went to had a purpose in the end. And that is why I am giving Book 5, The Light, a rating of check it out. Overall, it's okay. The problem with the story is that there's so much things that had frustrated me to no end, which really does suck for a story like this. Because I can sit there and tell you, I love the first book. The first book really had a lot of premise going for it. Things that made me interested, things that made me want to see the future of the story, and that's something I wanted. So definitely the first book is on top. Second book, that's from the top, is the fifth book. The fifth book answers, or I guess carries along the betrayals and give it rhyme and reason to, because of what happened, which is a good thing, but it comes at a cost of the story itself, the overall plots of the story being a mess, being frustrating, being just not enjoyable to read. And that's the messed up part about it. There is great action. I can sit there and tell you right now, there is so much great action in this series alone that I'm like, this is awesome. But it comes at a price of it just being frustrating, and frustratingly fast sometimes. And frustrating just doesn't make any sense. And decisions characters make, I just can't get behind to a lot of them, because a lot of them just do not make any sense in the end, which is terrible, because this series had so much that could have gone better. And that's the thing, I just wish that there was something better for the series that it could do. It's like the author had these ideas and wanted to get it out there, but couldn't do it properly. And that's a sad thing to say, but it's something I can sit there and say that's how I felt. Even though there is good things I can say I am very happy for, say I really enjoyed, I cannot say for the rest of the story. However, I do enjoy the world. I enjoy the hybrids. I enjoy the the alphas. That's which what they call the superhuman people. They're called the alphas. I do enjoy them. There is a prequel book called The First Alpha, which does make me interested. So I do like the world. I just wasn't particularly fond of this story that was written. So yeah, and that's the messed up part. I wish I could have enjoyed it, but this is just what happened in the end. So with that being said, I'm gonna give the hybrid series an overall rating of meh. Hi, thank you guys all for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you would like to read this series, I would link it down in the description below. Also, did you know I too am an author? That's right. I have a young adult paranormal adventure book called Unborn Ghost. It's a simple story of a man named Ashur trying to get his way back home. If you're interested, it would too be linked down in the description below. And as always, if you like this video, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a great day.